I'm Jackie Walds, and I am originally from Miami, Florida, moved to Minnesota when I turned 18, haven't gone back since. I'm a stay-at-home mom. We have 5 kids, or 5 boys, and 1 little foster girl right now.
And I'm Jeff, married to Jackie. I grew up in North Dakota and have been here in the Twin Cities for over a decade now, where I'm an attorney. And also have, of course, 5 kids, and basically the rest that she said applies to me. I always had a relationship with God and a deep sense of God's presence. That's always been a part of my life. But I definitely had a kind of a breakthrough, a real turning point in my life during college through St. Paul's Outreach, living in a summer SPO household. And what turned on that summer for me was 2 things. One was this understanding of having a relationship with Jesus, and that has just fundamentally changed my life. And the other reality was community. And so living in that SPO household, I began to live communal life with others. So it's those 2 pieces, the relationship with Jesus and then the communal life, that I think is what's kind of vital to my faith today as a married person.
For us, we'd seen others live it, and we had the intellectual knowledge and for sure the desires, the spiritual desires, but I think fear really stood in the way. Just the practicals. Jeff started, when we got married, Jeff was starting law school, and I was staying home, and so we had no income. And I mean, from day one, it was the Lord saying, will you trust me? Will you trust me with everything?
Just reflecting on the last number of years of really significant joy and really significant just laughter. But that being in the midst of a fair amount of suffering and struggle and sacrifice, and being called to die to myself. With everything is there's this deep desire that we have to have a comfortable life, to have an easier existence. And if we just follow that desire, it's ultimately not going to fulfill us.
Something that the Lord has called us to as a family and as a couple, I think has kind of been to be a Simon of the cross, to walk with those who are carrying heavy burdens. And what's hard is that sometimes all you can do is walk alongside them, and you can help, but ultimately it's their cross, and ultimately it's their deaths. So we had recently this great opportunity to take a crew of kids from a rough neighborhood, these at-risk youth. We had probably 11 kids that we took to Mass, and it was a disaster, absolute disaster. I mean, there was so much screaming, cursing. I got the middle fingers pointed up as me as I was pulling a kid from under the pew. And there was this moment, though, that I looked at the altar, and all I could think is, Jesus, like, you're walking towards me, you're walking towards us, and everyone else might be walking away from us, but to just be able to look up and know that this is what he wanted, to bring his children to him. And so in the chaos, in the suffering, in the darkness, what I found is that when I can fix my eyes on him, that there is the light, and I see him walking to us.
The last few years have just been a kind of a comedic opening of my eyes to see that, what I thought I gave was everything. Back in college, and to a certain extent, I had given what I was able to give at that point. And I find the Lord calling me year after year, month after month, really day after day, morning after morning, to give myself more to him, a little bit more every day. And sometimes that's really, kind of big, kind of life-changing moments where a foster child comes into your home on Christmas Eve and they become, your son, and they never leave. And sometimes it's just, much smaller, like, oh, I feel like we're supposed to take our kids to daily mass for Advent. Okay, but what I've experienced is this invitation and this desire to give all of my life for the rest of my life.
The Lord has just convicted me through a lot of our relationships, and in particular through my relationship with my husband, to run after him, and that this world isn't it, and I long and crave and desire Christ more and more. I see what the world has to offer, and it doesn't suffice, and I want more for those that I love, and he shines that light and says, come to me. And so I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for this journey, and this is what I want to do for all of my life and for the rest of my life.